So good morning, everybody. We're so excited to have you here today, April 20th, our April Customer Success Webinar for 2023. And I have with me here today, Helen Triplett. Good morning, Helen. How are you?
Hey, good morning, David.
Awesome. So Helen, are you seeing people joining us? For some reason, I can't see the...
Yeah, I'm seeing a group through, everybody's starting to come in.
Okay, great. We're going to give a pause. I'm going to talk about how excited I am about the spring weather, warm weather. It seemed to be a long winter, and so we're really excited about the opportunities. But can you guys believe that we're already in Q2 of 2023? Oh my gosh, time just flies. So today we have a real exciting topic. And Helen, if you think everybody's joined at this point, I'll go ahead and get started.
Let's give everybody a couple more minutes, if you don't mind.
Sure. And we're really excited. So we've been on the phone with a whole bunch of you guys here recently, talking about our new release. So some of you guys may get a little bit of a repeat of what we've talked to you individually about. And we're really, really happy to get on a call with you and show you how this all works. Because it works really easily. And in fact, I don't remember the exact date, but the new release occurred magically for you guys already, roughly the first week in March, I believe. But we didn't, we promoted it. Was it the first week in March?
Look at the last week in March.
Last week in March, that's right. Perfect. So these capabilities we're going to go over are already available to you. And like I said, Helen's team is reaching out to show you guys how it works. And Helen and I have been on several calls with customers and shown them in real time. So Helen, I think we're going to get started. Okay.
Okay. All right,
perfect. Fantastic. So certainly we're going to talk about our new release. It's actually two new capabilities that are very simple to see in the product itself, but we think they're both going to have dramatic optimal effects, and we'll talk about that. We're going to show you a couple of case studies already that in play, and then of course we're going to have our Java Joy. So let's get started. I constantly put this slide in here because this
you
actually...
Want to share your screen, David?
Oh yes, I certainly do. So thank you for that. I had assumed it was sharing. So, oh my goodness. And I'm waiting for it. Here we go. Excellent. Thank you, Helen. Here we go. So let me back up one slide. This is what we're talking about today, our DXP new release. And these two new capabilities, SPINfluence and GrowthGrid. We hope you like those terms. We spent quite a bit of time of reviewing what would be most engaging there. And we're going to look at use cases in the Java Joy. And again, this slide is one that I put out quite frequently so that everybody remembers the life cycle that happens for engagement and ultimate results. So we always start with what is it that you would like to promote and who you want to then discover or identify. That would be the right person, right time, right product, service. And certainly we help you do that with Deep Target. And then how do you communicate with them? How do you invite them to engage with you? And then the loop back finally are the results of that. So you can make modifications to that engagement. So we're going to talk about the components of that, but our overall goal is to provide a great user experience that will help you grow your sales and services. And when we talk about service, we're really talking about helping you help your users, customers, and members achieve financial success within your community. And once again, the keys to that are who and how and what now. So these are the areas that we're impacting with this release. We're going to show you what we believe is a dramatically new way to engage, and then also report the results of that engagement. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So our new how environment is a new innovative engagement where the ad spins. So this actually came about, our patented 3D story capability inspired us to actually do this as a part of the banner ads that you currently see, the ones that are horizontal in their positioning, either in online banking or mobile. And then also the what is this new innovative revenue reporting capability that we call the growth grid, and it's going to show your marketing results in revenue for the first time, and you can share this with your leadership so that they can see the value of what you're doing. And once again, we're always here to help you do that, okay? Get you started with that, okay? So here is our new SPINfluence running inside a mobile app that you can see, and it does this rotation that currently no other product or service out there in a digital marketing space does this. It's always literally the blank, an ad blanks out or another one just pops on top, and it's not as engaging or noticeable. And so this can draw your attention, your user's attention. And why is that so important is you want to make sure that your ads are relevant for them so that when it does draw their attention, that it's something that they're interested in. And we also do it in, wanted to show you in online banking. This is Banno's environment. I'm going to show you a video of that as well. So here it is running inside of a test case for us, but inside of Banno, you can see this. Helen, what do we call this space?
Yeah, we call that, this is the carousel plugin in Banno, but you can see on this particular one is that we have a multiple GIF files for each of the banners, and it's rotating in, end over end. I would say end over end, top to bottom. So you can see it in that online banking environment there.
Exactly. And these, if you like these ads, actually Helen's team developed them certainly for our testing, but also they're not available in the banner library. But if you'd like these ones that have been created, any ones that we've created already in the Banno environment, they'd be happy to share them with you. Okay. All right. That's great. So we hope you're excited about this. We're going to actually talk about how this works. So Helen, do you want to share where you could actually turn this on in the
Sure.
DXP?
Sure. So right now you currently set your ad rotation under settings, ad rotation. So that's, you go to the same place. So when you click on that, you see a new option there called 3D transition. All you have to do is check that checkbox, and that turns that on immediately. You turn it on, then you hit save. And this works for horizontal ads. So if you've got a vertical ad, like if you're in a NetTeller environment where the ads are, taller than they are wider, then that doesn't apply. This applies only for those ones that are more horizontal. So
perfect.
You can get that turned on immediately. So as David mentioned, we've been sending out requests to meet with everybody, just because we want to meet with everybody once a year, but we want to show you how you can turn this on, and we'll do it real time in our meeting. And that, you can test it out and see how it looks, while we're on the call.
Exactly. And in fact, we were on a call with Heather Summers and her team a couple of weeks ago now, and they all really loved SPINfluence as we showed it to her. And so she said, well, how do we turn this on? We said, well, hey, jump into either online banking or mobile. And they all picked up their phones and jumped into their mobile app. And we turned it on. Helen actually turned it on for them. And within 5 seconds, they started spinning. And she said, I love it. It looks so cool and so modern. We think this new feature will increase engagement by our digital users. So we really happy about the comments that we've had. This is from Heather, but here comes Jim. Jim McCorkle is the CEO, president of Common Trust. He said, wow, SPINfluence is a massive upgrade to the old bland style of banners. So we love that. So we hope you guys do the same. So Helen and I, in preparing for the presentation today, said, well, why don't we give you guys a minute? Maybe you want to turn it on right now for your users. And again, just pop into the DXP of Deep Target, go to the settings, go down to add rotation, and click the 3D rotation toggle, if you will, and click save, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you'll have it rotating for all of your digital users as well. So awesome. So that's the first big component of our new release. And once again, we're so excited about the technology that was born out of 3D Story that allowed us to implement it so quickly. Otherwise, it would have taken some time. So our second big new feature is our GrowthGrid. And as you guys know, we've got extensive analytics and reporting that allow you to show your engagement. And we've got KPIs that show you the results of the engagement. But we've never actually shown potential revenue results. So we now have done that, and it's actually in your system right now. And there's actually no other digital marketing solution that does this, because in today's world, if you guys haven't heard it, it's all about revenue. Everybody wants to understand their revenue results very frequently, if not consistently. And so we help you do that. Okay. So here's what we do in your current management report. If you download this now, you can, 6 month, past year, past 2 years. It results on that first tab that shows you all of this. But then what have we done on this side, Helen?
So what we've done is in the past, we always had 3 tabs. One was the management report, one was the monthly trend, and one was called influence conversion. So we repurposed the influence conversion tab to enhance it, and we now call it GrowthGrid because we do show you revenue on that. So let's take a look at how that looks now. So I want to talk a little bit about this. Before, it showed you what campaigns that you were running, where you had products open. This shows you all the possibilities for all the different account types that are out there where you may or may not have campaigns running, but we want to show you, opportunities for growth here. So, David, if you want to talk a little bit.
I do. So there's 2 big things. So as Helen said, the influence conversion report, if this had been run in February and previous, it would have only shown you in this report, consumer loan, credit card, mortgage, new auto, and so forth. So a limited review, and although that was powerful, it didn't show you what you were missing out on. And I'll give you an example of that in here. So what's super evident right now is that these
look at that IRA one. Yeah, that's a good one.
There you go, perfect. So the IRA. So it looks like potentially there was a campaign running from May through the end of the year, but prior to that, no campaign was running. So this particular customer was getting a consistent 1 or 2, even 3 IRAs a month based on engagement driven from deep targets in your ads. This period, there were none. So certainly we can look historically if there was an ad running, but we have an indicator here that there was no ad running to a targeted set of your users, and therefore you missed this opportunity. And I can see clearly we've not run any kind of savings campaign, we've not run a recreational campaign, we've not run any kind of HELOC over this period of time because nothing's improved. So it's the first big stark visualization here with this report is that you have a multitude of opportunities perhaps missed out on because campaigns weren't running. And then the second big thing is that we will then take the total number of opened new accounts, multiply it by a revenue amount, and give you a total. This is estimated revenue for the first month of that product account opening. Okay.
So David, before you go on, I also want to mention something too. This is something else we added. This is kind of the secret thing. Before we had a category called consumer loan where we would have lumped personal line of credit, recreational vehicles in that bucket. But we, several of you have asked over time, can we add new account types so you can separate those types out? So when you're doing your product mapping, you do have options now to classify the product code as a personal line of credit or a recreational vehicle and not just have it in consumer loan. So this one, since it's historic, they wouldn't have had them in those buckets. So even if they had a personal line of credit or a vehicle, they're lumped up there. So we added 3 new codes: personal line of credit, recreational vehicle, and then the commercial credit card category. That's a new one for us this time.
Perfect. So thank you, Helen. That's great. And just so you know, once again, the other modification is we've added sections: loans retail, deposits retail, and then commercial, so that you can see differences. Because a lot of times, I know you guys, for instance, you'll have plenty of deposits, so you need to work on loans this coming quarter, or you have plenty of loans and this quarter you want to work on getting more deposits. And so we've isolated them together so you can kind of see what you should be doing or could be doing. But our biggest component here is, once again, that fear of missing out. So historically, you might have done, let's say, Q4 loan heavy promotion, and then Q1 deposit heavy promotion. There's actually, during all of those times, there are some of your members, customers, that need either one of those during those periods, and you might not be promoting to them. So what happens? They look elsewhere. They go to other financial institutions for those needs because they don't see them presented inside of your banking apps. Okay, so really big eye-opening. So this is one example. Here's another one. This is a $2 billion asset customer of ours that's had really good results as well, and is excited about the opportunity, and is going to be adding more campaigns because of what they had been missing out on. And you can see their results just over a 6-month period is pretty phenomenal. So they're really excited about that. So excited that all your product categories are shown, and there's 17 of them. We're listing those conversions, those new account opens, and totaling, and the estimated revenue now shows that you're a profit center. So that's our big push. We want you guys to feel like you're really contributing to your overall success of the credit union or bank that you're with, and so we're really excited about that. So much so, we'll talk more about it. So Helen, what do we need to do to make sure that this is properly organized inside Deep Target?
Yeah, so as we've been meeting with people, we've been kind of doing a review, and this is why we want to have a review, a customer success review, to go over your results, to see how you're doing. And we just kind of noticed some things, but these are 4 best practices that you want to follow to make sure that you've got, your results are accurate, but making sure that you're doing everything that you need to do to be successful for your members and customers. So first off is we're going to make sure you deploy campaigns across all your categories of products. You want to prioritize those ones that are more critical and time sensitive. So like David mentioned, if this quarter, you really want to focus on deposits, you make sure you've got those prioritized, but you still want to have those other ones running in the background. The other, I say this is the pearl of wisdom. If there's one thing you need to take away from Deep Target, make sure you have your product assignment set up correctly. That's key, because that's what links your campaign to your views, your clicks, and your account opens. So that's very important to do. The other is make sure that all your account types all your product codes have been mapped correctly. Typically, when we do the initial setup for you for Deep Target, we do that product mapping, but over time you add new product codes. I mean, you add new CD types, new offerings. So you want to make sure that those are all up to date. And then you want to set your estimated revenue per account type. Now, what David showed you earlier is Deep Target has defaults in there, but you want to do what's applicable for your credit, for your financial institution. So David, you want to?
That's right. So
let's take more of a deep dive here.
Perfect. And I just wanted to say, just remember, it's your first month. We only add up the first month of revenue, estimated revenue per product. We know that For instance, an auto loan might go 48, 60 months, and that first month of interest revenue is generally higher than the last month, right? So just be aware of that as well. Great. Here we go, Helen.
Okay, so as you're looking at what products to do, this is what we call our campaign framework, and this is what we use kind of internally to look at where our coverage is. We could send you a chart like this, and you could fill it in for yourselves, or you may already have something set up. But the items in blue here are where there is coverage on for different campaign types. So you can see there's auto loans, some are all users, some are predictive model, some could be target by rule or by list or whatever. So you want to make sure that you've got coverage across all your product categories. And down in the bottom corner, you see that there's a little colored donut. That's what you see right now on your dashboard. The more colorful that dashboard is, that donut is, that means you've got more coverage across your product lines.
Perfect. Okay.
And your next one is your right product assignments. So when you create a campaign, you can go into campaign settings, and there's a product assignments tab, and you want to make sure that you got the right account types selected. So by default, if you are opening up a new product, let's say an auto loan or a credit card, Deep Target does set those defaults automatically. But you may have a new campaign that might be other or a service that you want to offer. You want to make sure that you have the appropriate assignments done. So any campaign where you're promoting a new account to be opened, so like a credit card, auto, consumer loan, you want to make sure that that account type is checked, okay? But if you have services like mobile deposit, card controls, e-statements, those kinds of things, or events or general communications, you want to make sure that you don't have any account type selected for those, because you're not asking someone to, or you're not promoting a product opening or account opening, you're really promoting communications that you've got. So we just want to make sure that you have those set properly.
Perfect. Thank you, Helen. Good.
And then on your product code mapping, so this is where you want to look at your growth grid. So go out there and generate your growth grid. And if you see in the unassigned category, if you see green in the unassigned category, that means you've got some work to do to correct that. And so how do you do that? You go into any campaign under product assignments, and you go down and just kind of look at it holistically and look at what's in the unassigned bucket. Some product codes always should stay in that unassigned bucket. If you've got charge-offs, internal employee codes and things like that, you want to leave them there. But you may have a new CD offering or something that needs to be pushed up into its correct category. So that's how you can kind of look at what's in the unassigned bucket. And so our next screen, I think we're going to show you how to fix that. So you're going to go into do your product code mapping. So you're going to go into settings, instant settings, and there's one underneath that's called manage account types. So when you go to manage account types, you're going to see a list of all your product codes and then all the account types that have been associated with that. So if you go down there to that L5 that has unassigned there, that may be a new consumer loan offering that you have. All you have to do is just select consumer loan from the drop down, and it takes effect immediately.
Sorry. Yep. I clicked on it. Okay.
So you want to make sure that that's done, and then you can go to the next slide, David. I can.
Perfect. And again, these are things that Helen and her team will help you review and set correctly in a customer success review meeting. So be sure to set those up so that we can help you do that. Okay. Okay.
And we're going to talk a little bit about this. So this is where, we mentioned that Deep Target has an average estimated value for each of the account types. You would go, and this is where you can go to change it to your specific values. So you go back into settings, you go to average revenue values over on the left, and then this screen pops up, and you would just go in and change that average monthly revenue dollar to what's appropriate for you. And hit save. More to say. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, Helen. So how have people responded to the growth grid? There's Jim again. Jim, President CEO of Common Trust, said growth grid is a great report I can show the board so they understand how effective our marketing is. which is awesome. Emily Dykstra, Marketing and Business Development Manager at Best Financial, said, for the first time, I've seen the revenue impact of our campaigns I've been running. Shows us a breakdown and it shows how they're reaching opportunities and expanding their marketing outreach. So great. Thank you, Emily. And once again, Heather at LBS said, the new GrowthGrid really shows our sales results clearly across product lines and where we can add more promotions. And with the total revenue results, we get to see how our digital marketing contributes, I should say, to our overall financial goals. So thank you, Heather, for that as well. So awesome stuff. And don't forget, we can fly that plane for you. So with our managed services, we can run the whole system for you and ensure that you have optimal results. You know, we've been on the phone with several customers here recently, and I've had to ask, so you're advertising all these great products and promotions on your website, but you're leaving them out of your online banking and mobile apps with advertising. Why is that happening? Well, running out of time. Yes, we'd love to do that. Never saw the missing opportunity before off the GrowthGrid. Those are things we can help you with. We will help you set up across all your product lines campaigns for each of those categories or those product offerings, help you achieve phenomenal results. And have we reached great results? So GG, Marketing Manager James Associates, who's one of our managed services partners, says it's been basically been a client for years, and the managed services have been fantastic. So we're so excited with that. There's Jim again. He did hire us to do managed services for Common Trust, and we've had our best performing month since 2021. So I cannot recommend this enough to other financial institutions. Thank you, Jim. So that's awesome. And I want you guys to remember, we also have our member appreciation and recognition service. If you want to happy birthday your customers and members, or even anniversary date, and remember about our microsite that that they'll go to from the URL dropped into their email. So we have that available as well. So we want to make sure you guys all know that. We have several of you guys already starting to use this. So we're looking forward to the results of that as well. Okay, so Helen, I think we've reached Java Joy time.
Okay, we're going to see who's still on here. Let's see. Okay, the winner today is Katie Dewar.
All right, Katie, congratulations. Watch for an email in the next day or so, where we're going to send you an e-gift card for your very own cup of coffee from Starbucks. And we thank everybody for attending. Next month, we're excited. We're going to go another deep dive into reviewing your results, those that matter most. So we're going to look into the reporting and analytics. Once again, make sure everybody's aware of all those capabilities, how you can use those, and how, in fact, our managed services will give you those reports as well. But we're really excited about that. To spend time with you and share that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Helen, for your time today.
Hey, well, thanks everybody for taking time out to listen to our webinar today.
Absolutely. Okay.
Be sure to reach out to us. We're here to help.
Excellent. Okay, and Helen, would you check that question and answer that's just come in before
Sure.
We're gonna pause and thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of the month and see you next month.
Hi, Pam. This is from Pam Huffer. I'll reach out to you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Pam.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.